Hey guys, welcome to your Week 21 Connects You lesson. This week we are going to be discussing skimming and scanning, so different reading techniques that can help you get through reading the information in your courses. So skimming and scanning are two specific speed reading techniques which enable you to cover a vast amount of material very rapidly. So we're not recommending that you always skim and scan. There are times, especially in your English class, where you're going to have to read a book and read it thoroughly and take notes, but there are times where you're just looking for an answer, and that's when you're going to want to implement skimming and scanning to help you do things a little more efficiently. So skimming versus scanning, you can look at a newspaper and skim and scan the news. So you can skim to find out what it's all about. This is by reading headings, looking at pictures and captions. So you're really not reading most of it. You're just kind of skimming around and seeing what might interest you and get a general gist of what happened. Or you can scan to look for important information. So if you're looking for keywords or numbers or things like that, you're looking for something in particular, that's when you're just going to very quickly scan through the text and find the word you're looking for. This is different from reading. So if you are given a worksheet that you're actually supposed to be looking and answering and reading, you want to make sure that you're reading left to right and you're reading every line, working your way down the page. But if you're skimming and scanning, it's going to look something different. You are going to look at the title, then you're going to jump to another line, maybe a bolded word, look at a chart. So it's a lot more frantic than what your eyes are doing. So it's not so orderly. You're just kind of really quickly looking at the page and looking for important information. So I just want to watch, there's about 1 minute of this video that I just want to watch real quick.
Skimming, getting the gist. Skimming is a fast reading to get the general idea of the text. Different techniques for skimming include A. Running your eyes over the text to get the general meaning, not stopping at words you don't understand, as this will only slow you down. B. Reading the first and last paragraph of the text, and summaries if offered. And C. Looking clearly at the topic sentences, the most important sentence of each paragraph. Scanning. Get only what you need. Scanning is rapidly running your eyes over the text in order to locate specific details. 3 steps to scanning include: A. Read the question and search for keywords or ideas associated with the question. B. Your eyes then quickly move over the page, flitting around the text, back and forth, up and down. And C. Less reading and more searching. The brain hunts for specific information.
Okay, so the main takeaways from that I liked were, for skimming, you're just getting the gist of what the text was about. And for scanning, you're just looking for something in particular. You're looking for one thing. All right, so just a few reminders. Tomorrow is Family Engagement Night, and we will have a virtual reality breakout room in Star Wars Lego coding. So hopefully it's probably going to look something like this. That would be tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Altoona IU8. So it is not at the building at CPDLF where we're used to going. It's at the 6th Avenue office. So make sure you note the change, and it would be great to see you guys. So why don't you come out, try our new virtual reality software, and do a little bit of Star Wars coding. Another reminder that the spring semester started this week. So most of you should have received additional courses for the spring semester. I tried to address that in all of our check-ins yesterday. You should also be checking your email for invitations to courses in the Odyssey Wear Academy, Florida Virtual, or Canvas. If you are grades 9 through 12, most of you would have received an additional course, some form of an elective this semester. So make sure you're checking your email regularly and getting in and starting those courses. Your progress reports will be mailed home soon. If your grades are lower than you would typically like to see, you should be asking yourself, did I do all of my launches? So every single week, every course that is taught by a CPDLF instructor, so almost every English, math, science, social studies, you should be making sure that you're doing the weekly launches in every one of those courses every week, because it's worth 10% of the grade. And while it doesn't seem like that much, 10% is enough to take you down an entire letter grade. So it's the easiest part of the entire course. just make sure you're getting in there. So if you didn't do well with that the first semester, that is the first place I would start to raise that grade. Make sure every Monday you're in there doing those launches. It's the easiest 10%. Ask yourself, did I submit any projects blank? If you did, and you're somebody that consistently submits projects blank, then I can guarantee you are not passing, because the projects are worth 40% of the grade in Odysseyware, and even more in SLP. They're worth 70%. So if you are someone who thinks that you're going to get through it without doing any projects, even if you got 100% on everything else, you're going to fail with the 60%. So make sure you're at least trying those projects. I recommend scrolling down to the bottom and just looking at the directions, what's actually being asked of you. And if you're not sure, use the little help button at the bottom and ask your instructor, what am I actually being asked to do? So they can maybe summarize that for you, because they're really not as hard as some of them might seem. Also, have you been taking notes? That's something that if you did not do that the first semester, that's somewhere that you could start to try to do better in the second. It always helps to write down your thoughts. That way, whenever you're working through these lessons, by the time you get to a quiz or a test, you should have an open book test because you've taken good notes. And also asking yourself, am I trying my best? Are you working every day? Are you working longer than 10 minutes a day? Our most successful learners have realized the importance of keeping a schedule and the importance of working about 3 to 4 hours a day at a minimum, and making sure that you work in every class every single week. We have too many people who sometimes go 3 and 4 weeks without even touching one particular class. Not only are you probably being marked absent for those, but you're also forgetting everything you just did. So those are places I recommend starting to try to increase those grades for this year. If you need help or we can make a plan together, please send a hangout. All right. And then lastly, we have your reflection question. In a private comment, I would like you to write, what is the difference between skimming and scanning? All right. Reach out if you need help, and have a good week.